Okay guys, we have Shelby here. Shelby is a runner for LSU. She's also my daughter, and we're gonna go through the first sample workout that I gave you to use. First exercise is we wanna go over and show you the technique and how to do it properly. First exercise is just forward lunges. You guys, everybody knows how to do forward lunges, but we wanna make sure that we do it properly, okay? So that we don't create any kind of knee issues when we do this and that we're recruiting the right muscles in. Okay, so really simple is just take a step forward, take a good stride, and go down. And what we want to make sure of is that we're getting this hamstring parallel to the ground. Okay, we don't want this front knee rocking over the toe like this. That's really bad. Okay, we don't want that ankle flexion going that far, extension, I should say, flexion. Okay, and then the back knee should be close to the ground but bent, so she comes up. Takes another step with her other leg, and then the same thing. Okay, she's holding just to show you the position, but yours is more solid fluid. Okay, so go back and show them what it actually looked like, Shelby, when you do this. Okay, if you don't know, but okay, she's just stepping out. There's really no pause. Come up. Now you can add weights to it. Take your weights, put them in a suitcase hold. And the suitcase hold is just keep it down by your side. Okay. Now the progression for that would be as you get stronger and you're more stable doing split lunges, that you can take it now to a split squat or a static lunge. So we take it out, you're in a lunge position, she's just holding it to show you. She's going straight down and then she's going to come right back up, and that's 1. You go down again and 2. So it's the same concept, but now you're just in a static position. Okay, it's a little bit more difficult. Okay, because you're not releasing that contraction all the way. And then finally, the last progression as you get better at split squat and you're stronger and you want to challenge yourself is what we call a rear foot elevated split squat. Okay, she's going to use the couch to elevate her foot, take a hop out so that she has a long enough stride to where she can dip down into the squat position to where that knee stays in line with her ankle. Okay, and just up and down, do 10 on one leg, 10 on the other. And that would be the progression from lunges to split squat to rear foot elevated split squat, or what we call roofies. All right, second exercise, real simple. You're gonna be working that medial glute, your IT band, or lateral band walks. So Shelby's gonna put the band on. You can get these bands on Amazon, or your coach may have some for you. But we're gonna put the band up right below the knee. Okay, and she's going to widen her feet. And the main thing is we want to be hinged. We want to bend down at the knee. And then we want to hinge forward at the hip, right there. And we want to hold that position as we do that, so we isolate the right muscle group. And we're just stepping out. And we're just going to do 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds back the other way. Do that 3 times. So now she's going to come back, maintaining tension on that band. Really does a good job working your IT band, your medial glutes, strengthening those up, getting stability in your hips. All right. Third exercise, you can take that band off, what we call hip hikes. Okay, if you have something where you can elevate, you can use, if you have stairs in your house, you can use the stairs. Somewhere where you can elevate off on one foot, you have your other foot hanging. Okay. This is a great exercise for stabilizing those muscles. Everybody has slight hip drop when they run, and we want to strengthen that up so that it's not an extreme hip drop, and this does it. So what she's going to do is she's going to, put your hands on your hips for me, okay? She's going to drop her foot down at the hip. Notice that we should see that tilt right there, and then she's going to come back up, okay? We want to keep this leg, maybe just hold a bent position, but not go up and down on it, okay? So right there, we want to feel it in the hips. So the hips should come up and then drop down. So we do 15 on one leg, 15 on the other. If you don't have a platform or a stair to use, you can lift one foot up. You can do it just standing if you can hold your balance. Lift one foot up and do the same thing. Where you're gonna feel it is on the foot that's on the ground, okay? You're gonna feel it in that glute when you do it, and you do it correctly. But it's a great exercise to build that medial glute strength. All right, I'm pull my list back up. Okay, now we have calf raises. Pretty simple. You can use an elevated surface if you have it, or you can do it straight on the ground. Okay, we always just went over to a fence and held on with my teams. So pretty simple. Do 30 with your toes pointed straight, just up to the balls of your feet, back down. Okay, making sure you're getting full extension. Extend up as high as you can on the balls of your feet. So we do 30 toes straight. Now she's going to take her toes, turn them in, and do 30 with her toes pointed in. That's why we use the fence, because she almost fell over. And then take your toes, so we do 30 that way. Take your toes, point them out, and 30 with your toes pointed out. All right. For this next one, working the lower leg. Notice that we've shifted the focus from the glutes now down to the lower leg. She's going to take a band. Go ahead and take a seat. And she's going to put them around her foot. Around your foot right here. Okay, extend. And then she's going to separate her feet out where the band has tension. This is a heavier band, so it's a little tougher. Now, she's just going to work external rotation from her ankle. The only thing that's moving is at her ankle. This really works good on your perineals, these muscles that are over here on the outside part of your lower leg. Helps with shin splints, helps to prevent shin splints. I'm not going to say it totally prevents them, but it sure does help. But she's just rotating her foot out, trying to turn the bottom of her foot outside. So she'd do that 20 times, and then with the same foot, she's going to cross, keeping the band on, cross her leg, and do internal rotation now. Now she's going to turn her foot in and do that 20 times. And now we're working, these muscles and tendons are getting their work over here. You feel that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the biggest mistake I see is, especially with this external rotation, is that people go from the hip and they move their whole leg out. That's not the point. The point is only from the ankle. Isolate at the ankle and turn your foot out. Okay? So that's band rotations. All right, now we move on to abs. We're going to get out, since we have hardwood floors here, we're going to get out a mat. And we're just going to go through our plank circuit. Okay? A lot of times when I made this mistake with my own teams, and I've seen it with other teams as they do their ab work, is a lot of them do crunches and leg lifts. That puts a lot of pressure on your hip flexors. When you run, you use your hip flexors constantly, and they're fatigued. So what we want to try and do is to do ab exercises that avoid overusing the hip flexors, or that will create a strength imbalance between your hip flexors and your glutes and your lower back. So we want to do more ab work that de-emphasizes the hip flexors. So planks are a great way to de-emphasize. They actually stretch your hip flexors as you're doing them. So first one is just a front plank, okay? And she's up on her hands. So it's a great way to start. We want to flatten everything out right there. And we just want to hold that for 30 seconds to a minute, whatever you can do. Try to at least get a minimum of 30 seconds when you start. If you're not very strong, some of you guys are stronger, go for a minute. If you're really strong, then go down to your elbows, okay? And plank for 30 seconds to a minute. So as you get stronger, we want to take it down to your elbows. All right, from there, as you complete your sets of that, okay, we want to turn on, let's start up with the Highland, okay? It is a side plank. We want to stack our feet down here, okay? Straighten our body out. We want our hips elevated up off the ground, okay? You can put your hand on your hip. Some people like to hold it up in the sky, okay? And that's a side plank, okay? Now, if you're really struggling in that, hold on for a second. Let's show them a modified. Take this knee, bend it back, bend your foot back. You can unstack your feet. Unstack your feet, bend the lower leg, now go back up. I'm keeping that leg on the ground. It's a little bit harder to do in the high plank, but that's a modified where you're using that lower leg, this leg for support, okay? Now, as you get better, as you're stronger, you go down to your elbows, stack your feet, and then we hold it there. We want to make sure that we're staying in a solid line, holding that hip up, kind of get tired in your shoulder when you do these, okay? But 30 seconds, try to get to a minute, all right? And then finally, if you're really good at this is too easy, Shelby's struggling, okay, is you can do a hip up. She's taking her hip down, coming back up, hip down, coming back up. And you do that for 30 to 60 seconds, and you repeat the circuit. Okay, so just good ways of building core strength. All right, and then the last one is bird dogs. Okay, this is great for your lower back, your glutes. She's going to be in all fours, and all she's going to do, she's going to raise her right arm up, point out straight, and lift her left foot. Flex that foot right there. We want to try to get the heel above the glutes right there. Try to hold this up. She's holding it for 5 seconds, and then she switches to the other side and hold it for 5 seconds. And see, we got a little bit of a hip imbalance. That's why she lost it. So we need to work on this. She's got a little bit of strength imbalance there. Okay, so this is a great exercise to work your lower back right there when you have hip imbalances. Okay, so that is bird dogs. You want to do that for 20 times. You're alternating 1, then 2. All right, so that's workout 1, and it can be your 3rd workout of the week as well, guys. All right, thank you.